Well, the draft is done, and we had some fun. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk about it. I got a special guest. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that's Let's Talk Football. And you see the background. The draft is through. You see that W. Does that stand for W for victory? Win? Win? Is that what it means? It must mean that because we did all right, and I'm really proud of that. So I'm going to talk about it. We got to go into these picks, but before I do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited because I brought my guy back, the man, the myth, the legend, the host, the Big Nate Sports Talk. You know him, your friend of mine, Nathan Snell. What up, Big Nate?
What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you.
You too, my friend. You too, man. How you doing? Everything good with you?
Everything is good. And just for the record, the man, myth, the legend is you, sir. I'm just learning from the best.
I love it. I love it. Yo, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, the draft symbol sign is still behind us. Pittsburgh put on a show, but I know the best part or your favorite part was when the Ravens when that lady came up. I wish I had that clip.
It was really Mark Ingram's son.
I want to see that part.
Yeah, Mark Ingram got to announce a pick, and it was some young ladies up there with him. I think it was part of the Boys and Girls Club. And he picked his son up, and he said, "Steelers still suck."
Yo, the Ravens were trolling in Pittsburgh, and the lady that I was talking about, she came up all decked out, all Raven stuff, and she said, "Don't worry, Pittsburgh fans, I'll be short, like your playoffs." Right? Yo, definitely trolling. I love it. I absolutely love it. If the draft was held in Dallas, I know we'd be up there doing that same daggone thing. Let's get it.
Just really quick, Pittsburgh's a great city. It looked like it was a great vibe.
Absolutely.
They really showed out. The energy, they brought it. Man, I know Johnny Dean was from the area. Yes,
sir.
I know he talked about, I think on the little live show that he wanted to go, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately. But shout out to the city of Pittsburgh because they definitely put on the show. And shout out to I forgot where around he was drafted, but whoever they were drafted, because it was like 100 or something, he got a lifetime
military
supply.
Guy.
Yeah, he would get a lifetime supply of Heinz, ketchup, mustard, all that stuff like that. It was the Steelers.
Okay.
Pick. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can dig it. Hey, hope he's got something to put it on. Here we go. I can dig it. Yo, but ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We got to talk about the Commanders 2026 draft. Ladies and gentlemen, we had 6 picks. We had a first rounder, a third, a fifth, 2 6th, and a 7th. And to be honest, we're going to give our opinions. We're going to go through the picks, give a little grade, and then talk about somebody that did not get picked in Washington and seems to be kind of has some choice words for it. But we'll get into all that a little bit later. First and foremost, Big Dog, let's go through it. With the first pick, this number 7 overall Washington selected linebacker, Sonny Styles. And we saw the pick. We saw when it came up here. I was super excited. For those of you that did not see, I was over on there with Johnny Dean. As a matter of fact, let me show you that clip of what happened on that show.
I guess that's okay.
Oh, I was just about to message him and see where he was at. You bring him in. What's going on, Sean?
Getting ready. Sonny's still available. That's a good thing. Okay, here we go. Sonny! Let's go, Sonny! Sonny!
Yeah, Sonny Styles.
Sonny!
Like I said, it's a Dan Quinn guy. I think it's a Dan Quinn guy. That's a perfect fit.
Let's go! That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Let's see that dance. Let's see that dance. Hold on. Let's give him the string, man. Give him the string.
Oh.
All
Son,
right.
There we go. There we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's a great pick, John. A phenomenal
I'll
pick.
take it. Yes. Yes. And I'm still excited about that pick. But since I already said how I felt, Nate, let me know how you feel, man. What do you think about this pick in Washington and what does it mean for us?
I think it was one of probably the biggest needs that Washington needed on the defensive end. We had to work on the linebacker situation because what we had last year and the year before was honestly and truthfully atrocious. I hear you're getting somebody who's 6'5", athletic. Ran a 4.4. Like, and here's the thing: he was a former safety. Like, that's what's literally scary.
Yeah.
Like, that's Kyle Hamilton like ish, almost. Because Kyle Hamilton, you could put him pretty much anywhere, and that's like, whoa, like and I'm really curious to see how Dan Quinn will use his physicality, particularly on the inside. I think it's going to be used more on the inside more than outside. My personal opinion, knowing how Washington runs their defensive scheme. So I love the pick. I give it a solid A+.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Like you talked about. Oh yeah, absolutely. And like you talked about, the lead size, the lead speed, that combo. He can play inside, outside. He can really cover tight ends and play downhill, and is really uniquely fit for this the pass heavy offenses that we're seeing a lot more in the NFL. I mean, this was a blockbuster move. This was one of those moves that we were all hyped about it. Hey, and when he came out and he had the double S Express. I'm with that. Sonny Styles, Sean Spencer, we're the same, baby. Let's get it going, man. I'm so hyped for this pick, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he fits into this defense, pairing him with Leo Chanel now there, and who knows what happens if we end up getting Wagner, bringing him back. But I'm really loving that right there. So that was a big move.
Jordan McGee, too. So I'm curious to see how that will be interesting. Well, I mean, McGee probably could play the middle if – he can still play middle, even with Sonny. So
yeah,
we'll see how it's gonna be interesting. But with this draft and free agency, we have revamped our front seven really well.
Very true.
So I mean, give with last year. I mean, Bobby Wagner, I think who's a future Hall of Famer. Yes, 162 tackles. But 36, you gotta get a replacement. Only makes sense.
And that's a big deal because he was getting up there in age for sure, and we know he's great when he's in the vicinity. He can make those tackles. He's a great leader, but he became a liability when you saw the running backs come out of the backfield. And you got the Saquons, you got Javonte Williams from Dallas. A lot of those guys coming out of the backfield, and he just couldn't keep up. And so now having some guys that have some speed to them, that's going to play a major role for us in that defense, in that secondary. So I'm really excited to see kind of how he fits into the scheme and what Dan Quinn and our new DC end up doing with him, man.
Yeah.
So but. So let's keep this thing moving and get to that third round pick. As we know, we didn't have a second round pick. The 71st overall pick, Antonio Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson. And I didn't know much about him before, but I'm telling you, I'm excited about watching his clips, watching how good he is. Great separation, reliable hands, not a burn, but he's very polished. He's somebody that we can stick in the slot, somebody that could be a great complement to the wide receiver core we have. What do you think about it, Nate?
Yeah, I agree. He say like everything you pretty much said. I mean, there's high value because what we have really right now at the slot, Yami Brown and I'm not confident. with that. So you needed to address the slot wide receiver. And I'm really trying to understand this fixation on Brandon Ayuk as a number 2 Washington. I don't see that. I would like to see Debo come back. I thought he was just fine with us, but I'm really trying to understand this fixation on that. I think, but Antonio Williams, it was a good pick. I know he missed some. I know he missed some time last year, this past season. Excuse me. He and Jaden, I think Jaden will love him in the slot, especially with his size, like you said.
Right.
I give it a solid. It's a solid B plus.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go with it. I'm
sorry.
I think there's a little lag. I was going to agree with you. I was saying he's a great complement piece. He's something that could help us, especially with us also signing the undrafted free agent Chris Hilton Jr. that used to play with Jaden over at LSU. So you got a lot of speed guys, and this guy's going to help with that. But go ahead, continue what you were saying.
Yeah, the only thing is, what you're kind of taking what was best available at that point. I thought they could have maybe traded back into the second round, but I mean he's a good fit for them. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the battle for the third position for the number 3 in the depth chart will go. But I think this is our guy going forward as a slot wide receiver.
Absolutely. I'm so with that. So then after that, we didn't have another pick until the 5th round. We didn't have a pick in the 4th, and we ended up getting the edge rusher out of Tennessee, Joshua Josephs.
Tennessee. Yes.
What you think about this guy? I've seen some of the highlights, man. That motor, that explosion. I'm really hyped about this. What you think?
So one thing that we needed to improve tremendously was our pass rush, and signing Odafe Owe and Kayvon Clemson Chasen, and I think was great. Dorrance Armstrong's coming back, and I mean, but here's the thing: Odafe Owe is really someone who's watched him in Baltimore. He is the only guy who could stop the run, and he makes he's the only one, not the run. Back up. Scratch it off the record. He's the only one in terms of contract wise that is young and that is not a free agent after this season. My understanding was Joseph's was a top 100 pick. I'm curious to see. My only concern is him against the pass, which I think he'll get better at. I think he's more of a run stopper. Kind of. It was a safety pick, but an edge rusher was definitely needed. So again, revamping that front 4 was key because last year not having that really showed, and even with injuries, the lack of depth. So it was a good pick. I liked it.
Yeah, I agree. And to your point, I mean, we know one of the downsides of this guy is he's saying he's still developing that technique. He's still got some work to do. But what is one of the big things you and I talked about a year ago that we really had a problem with? We liked our starters, but we didn't have depth. We lacked depth. This is a solid depth piece, some guy that we could bring in and that can help that pass rush, bring in a healthy body. So I'm very excited about this. With that being said, I'm gonna go B-, maybe C+. I like the upside, but he's got work to do.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna give it a good solid B. Solid.
I like that.
Because I think he's somebody that will grow in this defensive system. I don't expect him. I expect him to go in there and get in situations like on third down situations, second down situations. I don't expect him to be a day one starter. I think learning behind what's in front of us, what's in front of him. But I think using this season to grow. But I think biggest thing I would like to see, and I think they talked about this even at the combine, his strength, I think was one thing they would like to see him get better at. I think that's something Dan Quinn will help him get better at for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I really like is he doesn't have to start right away. So we could let him sit back, let him get that technique, let him work on strength. And then when he is ready, come fill, play your role, do what you need to do. So I'm with that. Depth, good piece. I'm with that. All right. Let's keep this thing moving from round 5 down to round 6. The only round we had multiple picks in. I see your face. You know, hey, I'm an old school running back, so you know I like my running backs. Katron Allen, running back out of Penn State. Him and Nate Singleton, those two guys work together. Yes. So they definitely split carry. So we know he's going to have a lot of he'll be good. He doesn't have a lot of wear on those tires. But interesting pick. He's more of a power back. I think this is another kind of depth piece. As we know, we got Rashad White, we got Jeremy Ford, and then we re-signed Nick McNichols, and we got Corey Krosky-Merritt. So this is going to be a rotational piece. He's going to be a running back by committee. What are your thoughts on him? I know when we first talked, you were kind of iffy on kind of why we got him, but what do you think now that you've had some time to think about it?
First of all, Katron Allen, Penn State has produced some good running backs, and I know he broke the school record last season. Mm-hmm. The way he fell in the draft board was simply because his explosiveness as a running back. One thing that I hear a lot of people say it on podcasts or radio shows, they highly emphasize they need an explosive running back, which he's more of a speedster. So I'm a little confused on what I think he will. It's gonna be interesting how David Blau will, because his system is an outside zone. So are we talking, halfback tosses, for him? Because biggest thing is his speed. But I'm curious to see where does he going to be in this position battle for depth positioning. Rashad White, in my opinion, is not a number one running back. Jerome Ford, who come off injury as well, isn't kind of would do the same thing. And then there's Corey Krosky-Merritt, 7th round pick, who's technically kind of going into the offseason was your number one running back. And then you have Jeremy McNichols. So you have 4 running backs that I think Katron is going to be interesting. I think it's interesting how what he does in not only training camp, but preseason with training camp. I'm going to watch him closely. But he's definitely somebody that catches my one thing. His biggest weakness in watching Big Ten games is in the passing game. He's not the biggest. That's his weakness. He's got to get better in that. So yeah. For me, in watching a lot of his games, where Singleton was, you talk about speed. Singleton was, in my opinion, more a speed guy. He hit more of the holes. He was more power for me. I saw as somebody that was breaking a lot of tackles and things of that nature. So when I look at him, I look at this as a replacement of Rodriguez. Somebody maybe on short yardage. Somebody that maybe we can put in there later in the game and he can have it. And then all of a sudden everybody can say, oh, this is the guy. This is the guy. We'll see if that happens. But I like what I'm seeing from him if he can bring that physical style of running. But to your point, it's going to be a rotational piece. While we know maybe Rashad White and maybe Jeremy Ford, maybe those are the top guys. Krosky-Merritt
moved up to that role at the end of last year. McNichols is reliable. We're going to be running back by committee this season. I
Yeah,
mean, I think that's pretty clear.
most
And
definitely.
so, right. And the way we're looking with getting Jaden healthy, it's going to kind of be like, in my opinion, we'll see, but I think it's going to kind of be like Robert Griffin and Alfred Morris. When Alfred Morris came in, he wasn't this big stud, but
Ooh.
doing that read option, he made
that read option
Robert
was
Griffin at
low-key.
right, and the threat of Robert Griffin running made the running game really that elite. So
it opened the running game. Yeah.
right. So
got me on that one.
having a healthy body come in there, this could be key for us. Again, it's a role player. This is a guy that's going to play later maybe in the season, maybe when a couple guys get hurt, maybe when winding down fourth quarter, things like that. Get in where you fit in. Let's see how to your point, let's see how he materializes in this offense. For me, this is a C. I like him, but it still remains to be seen how he'll contribute to the offense. What do you grade this one?
I'm gonna give it a solid B.
Okay.
Only because we don't really know how Blau's offense will look like.
Right.
And until we know what his offense will look like, the same thing with Antonio Williams. Like, they're good picks, but how do they fit into this system? And not just and I apologize, I should have touched on this earlier. I didn't even forget. I heard about Treylon Burks and Van Jefferson. So it's like, how do they fit in the system too? So
right.
K-Tron is a solid B+ for me.
Right. So let's move on down the list to the second sixth round pick that we had. Shout out to Matt Gublin at center out of Michigan State, the 209th overall pick in the sixth round. Listen, we talked about what we need is depth. Now with Allegretti moving over to center after the loss of Biotish, Gublin, he's going to come in here. He's going to come behind us. We know this guy has been a part of Michigan State. He stayed in Michigan State, Remington Trophy watch list, all Big Ten, honorable mention in 2025. And look, the guy's 6'4", 312. He's played. He was a consistent force, a consistent player, and a team that really wasn't that great in Michigan State. That was last year. He was a consistent force. I like that. We're not expecting this guy to come in off the bench. And if it gets to the point where he has to be the starter, let's just hope we're not at that spot yet. And I'm not dogging the guy. I don't know what exactly he's going to do, but this is a great sixth round pick. It's a depth piece. It's a piece that we need. And I think this will be good for us from that perspective. He's smart, great football IQ, somebody that is a cheap interior O lineman, possibly down the line could be somebody that if once he gets going and learns the offense, learns the things, he could be good. What do you think about this pick, being that it is the sixth round later in the draft, day 3?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Commanders did something that the Ravens didn't do, and that was draft a center, but that's okay. We signed one as an undrafted rookie. Shout out to Nick Dawkins.
I wish I had that clip of you saying, "Really?"
But with Tyler going to the Chargers for the next 3 years, I'm not. This trend of moving guards to center, I'm just not confident with Nick being a center. I think he has. I think he's good. I think he's shown flashes, but we're talking about down the road. I mean, I'm understanding he started at right guard, left guard. He's at Wake Forest, but I think he's just going to be, a backup. Honestly, a depth piece. Something that Washington also kind of lacked a little bit, especially in the interior.
Needed it.
And then I think that, and it's something that you need, depth, especially for the offensive line and the offensive line. Depth is key.
Yes.
To the success, because without the depth of your offensive line, it's going to show. And
Yeah.
like, especially with running the ball, like we really struggled last year to open up running lanes. And I'm not talking on inside running, I'm talking about outside running lanes. It didn't matter if you had Austin Eckler before he got hurt, Ja'Cory, Chris, Jeremy. I mean, that line did not do well in the run opening lane. So he's a good lane opener when it comes to the run. So it's gonna be interesting. I like the pick. I think they found a guy who could start really all three positions: left guard, center, right guard. Kind of reminds me of Mike Flynn a little bit. I'm back in the day.
Okay.
Because Mike Flynn was over at right guard when Jeff Mitchell was our starting center. But when Jeff Mitchell departed for Carolina, they moved Matt Flynn over to center. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look, it fits the role. I mean, we know why he's there. His depth, like you alluded to. There is some work that needs to be done. His technique is something that needs to be refined. I'm giving this a C because it filled a need. It did what we needed to do. And hopefully this could be something that can work for us down in the future. What do you think as far as grade?
C+.
C+. Love that. All right, and the last pick that we had in the 7th round with the 223rd pick, Ethan Kaliakmanis, quarterback from Rutgers. The guy also used to play at Minnesota. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to be very honest. I like the guy. I believe he had the Giant Unitas Golden Arm award one of these times, And look, he has good touch on the long balls, but he's very inconsistent with accuracy. Sometimes he's got a big arm. We'll say that. But
yeah, seeing that firsthand playing Maryland.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I did. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm sorry, Nate. I'm sorry. Yeah. You see, that would hit a little hard for Nate. My bad, bro. My bad.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead. It's all good.
No, yeah. Look, we know this guy is not going to compete for the number one. He's not going to compete for two. He's going to be a camp arm most likely. Going to fill the role that Sam Hartman had, and this could be a lottery pick. This could be a pick that if we can really work with him, if we can work with a guy like David Blau and really refine his skill and train him up, get him ready in the offense, get him acclimated with the system. Who knows what happens years down the line? Hopefully we don't have to depend on finding that out with Jaden there, and then Mariota, who's a legitimate backup at this point in our system. As long as we got 1 and 2, I'm confident we don't have to do this. This is a guy that we're going to see a lot in the preseason, a lot in OTAs and training camp and all that good stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what he looks like then. But this is the day 3 pick. This is the 7th rounder, a developmental quarterback, and I'm good with that, Nate. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, and also too realistically, Marcus Mariota's no spring chicken.
Right.
And in the games that he started last year, I mean, he was pretty much the starter last year. Amidst Jaden's injuries. That was not Marcus Mariota of 2017, 2016. You need somebody young behind JD5, and the same thing with when the Chiefs took Garrett Nussmeier.
Oh yeah, Nussmeier, yeah.
Thank you, Nussmeier. My apologies. I'm looking at the realistic of, okay, Ethan. Okay, he's okay, but Garrett was better. There were other quarterbacks on the board, but I'm not saying Ethan's bad. I mean, started all like you said, he's a gunslinger. Okay, the boy could throw the ball, but I guess that's just some competition for. This is also some competition for Sam Hartman. I know you guys got on me last year about him being a potential starter. Last year, and I'm going to be interested to see who wins that number 3 spot for the quarterback.
Is Sam still on the team?
Well, not last. Well, last year, because he didn't. Last year was the fourth. He was a fourth stringer. But I'm just saying, like, you need like a third stringer on this team, because even I think Marcus went down temporarily in that game. I forgot which game it was. So you need a third stringer. So is Ethan the guy? We'll see.
We'll see.
But I give it a. I give it a solid C.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. It's filling the role. It's the camp arm. It's I'll give it a C. I'm not going to go any lower because there is upside. I think there's tremendous upside, and this guy could be a gem. Who knows what happens? But then again, I also was somebody that said Sam Hartman could be a gem, and he could be X, Y, and Z. So you got to stay healthy. Obviously, the best ability is availability. If the guy can stay on the field, hey, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we won't have to put him on the field most of the season. Hopefully, Jaden will stay healthy and Mariota will stay good backup. Right. But if he can learn under those guys, I think that could be good. And him working with David Blau could definitely be a great thing for him. Hey, and we'll see how it plays out. So that was the 7th round pick, the 223rd overall pick. At Ethan Kaliakmanis, QB out of Rutgers. So really quickly, we are going to recap all of these picks. Bring it up here on the screen. Round 1, Sonny Styles, linebacker. Round 3, Antonio Williams, wide receiver. Round 5, Joshua Josephs, edge rusher. Round 6, Katron Allen, running back. Round 6 again, Matt Gublin, center. And round 7, Ethan Kaliakmanis, quarterback. And overall, be honest with you, I'm gonna go B. I think we got a blockbuster pick in Sonny Styles. Could potentially be a cornerstone of this defense. He is a solid legit pick if he ends up playing out and his ability comes to fruition. We got a plug and play wide receiver, somebody that I think could come in here and fill a big role. And we hit depth in a lot of areas that I'd like for us to do. Now, we didn't get any major offensive line picks. You and I discussed this off camera that there's still some potential holes on that line we did not do. We, outside of Sonny Styles, we didn't get any other major defensive players. I thought we needed to do something at corner, and
Yes.
we'll discuss. Somebody else felt that maybe we should have done something at corner as well. And to be honest with you, a lot of the late guys, the Gublin, the Kaliakmanis, the Katron Allen, these guys might be developmental pieces. So you're not really seeing much help overall when it comes to coming in this season. So we'll see how that plays out. But like I said, I gave him a B. What grade did you give our draft this year?
I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it an A. Simply because I think you addressed the areas you needed to work on the edge. Wide receiver, I think especially in the slot, I think was key. I think with Terry, back with this with Sonny, you have a revamped front seven, in my opinion. Especially what we did in the offseason, as I stated earlier. With wide receiver, yes, Terry McLaurin struggled. However, again, when your quarterback's not out there, and also too, Terry wasn't out there because he sat out to do his contract. So you don't have that rapport with your quarterback, and on top of that, your quarterback's injured. Yeah, your stats will show. Throughout the season, Treylon Burke was a late pick, entry to the team. De'Ami Brown, I know you guys, you and Will Kramer have kind of had your opinions on him both. But I think Antonio Williams is a good pick. Joshua Joseph, again, it's a developmental pick. Katron Allen, I think, is somebody developmental pick, like you said. I mean, I would like to know how much of an input David Blau and oh my gosh, I'm drawing to look like on the defense coordinator's name. I'm sorry.
Okay, Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah, like their input on, a guy like Joshua Josephs, Katron, Gublin, and Kate Manis. Like I'm really curious to see like what their input was on that, because yeah, this is that was a really, really interesting draft. But I mean, other than that, when you have 6 picks, you do have to make with what you do well. But I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. And we'll see what happens with these picks. We'll see how that plays out. Like you said, top 3 guys on here: Styles, Williams, and Joseph. Definitely Styles, potentially Joseph, or potentially Joseph. Williams, pretty much for sure, is going to make contributions, and Allen, Gublin, and Kelly Manis. Well, hopefully they'll give our guys some work throughout in practice and things like that, and we'll kind of see where it goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more topic, but before we do, we got to shout out my guy Anton Benson. And matter of fact, we're gonna hit 2 commercials real quick. One, got to shout out my people deep in the windy city of Chicago. Did a little commercial for them. Western wear. You like that? You like that Western wear, the cowboy stuff, the boots, this and that. Stay tuned, get that, and then hit up my guy Anton Benson. I'll see you soon.
Hi y'all, Sean Spencer here. Today we're going to take a look at a little piece of Southern country right here in Midwest home, downtown Chicago.
Looking for boots? They've got them. Looking for chaps? Not a problem. Looking for hats? They've got that.
Find your piece of country living.
Yeah, buddy. That was First. Alcala's Western Wear, based out of Chicago. They have a lot of different places. Nate, stop laughing. All right.
That was actually pretty good. I like that.
That is the only time you will see me as a cowboy. All right.
You need boots?
They got them. And the second one was my guy, Anton Benson, awesome artist, and lives in the Virginia Beach area, but travels up and down the East Coast and through the Midwest. Does great work, works inside the house, outside the house. Definitely follow him on Instagram. Yep. Awesome_artisans. I mean, this guy, he just put out a new video, a little PSA talking about why you need to use primer before you paint, so that the paint's not peeling and all this good stuff. You got to get in touch with this guy. He does great work. As a matter of fact, my guy Nate put in work with your family.
Yeah, my uncle. Yeah, uncle on not last year, the year before. Worked on the
closet. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's good work.
Absolutely. So we got people there talking about it. It's good. Definitely get in touch with him. He does good work. But look, ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, we wanted to talk about something really quickly. We mentioned that we did not go and look at our depth, even though we did at our corner position. We did address secondary, getting Nick Frost and getting Meek Robertson in free agency, but we didn't get any corner or DB help in the draft. There was a lot of there was a name that was tied to us, Mansour Delaney, pick out of LSU. But the Kansas City Chiefs on draft night traded up with, I believe, the Browns to the sixth pick and ended up picking Mansour Delaney right before us. That let us get Sonny Styles, and the rest is history. But Nathan, apparently, Mansour had some choice words for Washington after we didn't get him. What was he talking about?
Essentially, he was, I think, a little sore that we didn't do enough to trade up to get him. But let's be honest. When you look at this draft, this was a heavy offensive line, linebacker, edge rusher, some wide receivers in there, running back, tight end draft. Where he was in corners was very few in between. Okay. I was not expecting Kansas City to move up. They're that desperate to get a corner. Okay. I think he could have channeled his energy a little differently. You know, he could have said, you know, hey, listen, you know, I'm proud, you know, to represent the DMV. I'm going to take what I've learned from my time here, and you know, it's going to take a piece of DMV with me. You know, I just didn't really get the dig because let's keep it real. After the first 3 picks, it was like, okay, like you get a pick, like who like it was just the next best available player. But no, I didn't expect Kansas City to again. I did not expect Kansas City to trade with, of all teams, the Browns to move up and then get him. Like, unless, you know, again, and I don't know the behind the scenes stuff. Maybe there were conversations. Maybe they say, yeah, we'll take you, but like, yeah, I thought his energy could have been channeled differently.
I totally agree. I definitely thought it was unnecessary, and especially when you look at who could have drafted him, because the Browns didn't have to trade back. They could have easily taken him. So you could have been in Cleveland in that mess. And then B, where you went to a team that, with the exception of last year, has either been in the deep run in the playoffs or the Super Bowl every other year. You have a quarterback that is potentially looked at as the GOAT incoming, and they literally just traded away Trent McDuffie. So you're filling in right in that spot. To your point, I just don't think the energy was misdirected. I don't think it needed to come to Washington. And look, I get it. Maybe to your point, exactly what you said, we don't know the conversations they were having in house. We don't know what they were talking about. We don't know if they said, hey, we really like you, we want you here, and he was going back and forth and saying that, you know. And look, this is how things played out. And I've talked to you about this off camera. Yep. If we had the choice, if Mansour was still there, Mansour Delaney was still there at the 7th pick, and Sonny Styles was still there, I'm not certain that we'd go at Mansour Delaney even then. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I still would have gone for Sonny Styles. So even
Baines was there,
right?
You know, even if, let's say, Jeremiah wasn't taken by the Cardinals, you know, I know people talked about Jeremiah being a commander, but you know, again, like where he was in mock drafts and compared to other corners, like that said a lot about this group of corners for this draft. Like nobody stood out. Like Mansour is a good corner. Do not get me wrong. Like it's just, I just don't think that was a priority Washington looked at.
No,
to me, that's why I mean, really, I think Quan Martin won this draft to an extent, because it's like, okay, my job's safe. Your boy Mike
Sammer still, yeah.
He won this draft. Like
Mhm.
you kind of have the pieces. And a part of me kind of wonders, did they not take a corner because of, Forbes and St. Juice?
Mm.
Are they having those type of, nightmares? But I'll keep it real. Like, we will see how it looks, because in that trade, Cleveland also got Spencer Fanu and Casey Concepcion.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's something we got to talk about too. Who won that trade?
Exactly. Exactly. And I think one of the things that we're not thinking about, we were thinking about his name. We're trying to get his name earlier. Durante Jones, the new
Mhm.
defensive coordinator in Washington that came
Yeah,
from Minnesota. He had a sit pick and say in this too. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And I know a lot of us weren't expecting Sonny Styles to still be around at 7. So if he saw Sonny Styles at 7, you don't know if he's just licking his chops like, yo, this is the guy I want.
that's what
This
I
is
want.
higher on my list. So, I mean, look, from what it seems like, from everything that we've seen and we've read, Sonny Styles was the home run pick. This was the guy they wanted. Mansoor, I understand you are kind of sore that Washington didn't draft you, but I would, if I'm you, I'm channeling that energy to put on the football field to be the best corner that you can be, help this team potentially get back to deep run in the playoffs or the Super Bowl and work it like that. I don't think you needed to say what you said, but you're entitled to your opinion. Hopefully, wish the best for you and everything. Hopefully you work out and everything like that. But for me, I'm good with where we went. So
Agreed.
that's what it is.
Agreed.
So
I wish him all the best in Kansas City. So
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, to be look for my money. Look, I love what Washington's doing, and I'm very excited for Washington. But until we get over that hump and get to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, the Chiefs are still the premier destination.
yeah,
So
but that right
you know,
now, like, you're looking at the Chiefs for right now. Like,
right?
we don't know when Mahomes is coming back, and then you have Justin Fields, um, Gardner Minshew, he's out. He'll be out for some time too,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got Nell
And that's
Garrett.
my yeah,
So it's like,
yeah. But even on defense, he's coming right in there. Look, Mansoor, look, you go work yourself out over there. Go prove yourself out there because you got some things you got to work on. I mean, you're going up against those Raiders with that new quarterback. That they just Fernando Mendoza they picked up. Herbert's going to get it going. And let's not forget the Denver Broncos. Made a deep run last year, so they're going to be gunning for you
yes,
as well. So you focus on that. That's what we need to focus on. But hey, like my boy Nate said, best of luck to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head out here. Nathan Snell, I want to tell you I appreciate you
yes,
as
sir.
always. What do you got coming up in the near future?
So we got to recap the Ravens draft, which I think was a great draft. And then obviously WNBA season regular season is approaching May 8th. So I got a season preview with Mr. Brendan Potts. Shout out to Brendan Potts for that. And yeah, that's about it. Check over some just check over his content on the podcast. Especially, I'll probably see a lot of WNBA content, like media availabilities posted on the channel. So and all that stuff for days like that. So that's pretty much coming down the pipe.
Nice, absolutely, yo, and definitely, hey, stay tuned for Nate. Stay tuned for everything he's got going on. He's doing great stuff. I definitely recommend you go over to his channel, take a listen to him. Nathan Snell on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely pay attention. Got great content. Does great work. Interview. I mean, he's out here with the WNBA and women's basketball. I know that's college basketball. I know that's over, but definitely interview Brendan Freeze and all that. I'm so excited for what she's got going on. And also, I will be with Nate at some point. We still got to work out schedules. I will be with him starting a new interview show called Live with Sean Spencer, where I'm going to be interviewing a lot of these guys. My guy Nathan Snell, all the stuff he's doing tomorrow, or later on today, as a matter of fact, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to put this out tomorrow. I'm going to be talking to the one, the only Mr. Fingers, the creator of Zagnif Productions. Definitely going to talk to him and talk about his.
Speaking of which, I got a couple of questions to send you for Andy.
Yes, do that, because we got to do that. I want to see that. And also, I believe on Wednesday, I will be getting in touch with my guy, Nicholas I Want the Smoke Rosario, and definitely chit-chatting with him. I'm going to be hitting y'all up. I'm hitting all my people up. I got my buddy Chris Darter, my old high school, college roommate, hitting him up. I'm interviewing him. Definitely stay tuned for all the great stuff we got going on, man. And I am so excited to get this new venture, this new project going, man, because I talk to these guys all the time. So now I want you guys to see what I see and what I get to talk to. I feel like I'm just the most blessed guy in the world that have the type of friends like this. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for all the great content from my guy, Nathan Snell, and from your boy, Sean Spencer. Let's talk football, all that good stuff. We will be back this fall. So for my guy, Nathan Snell, it's your boy, Sean Spencer. One half of that dynamic to us. Let's talk football. We will see you on the flip side. Peace, people.
Left hand up, baby.
Yes, sir.